what's the news on Raffles?
What?
You know, the chewing gum dog.
Oh.
Didn't you hear the announcement? He's gone missing.
So much for your major criminal network.
Alley leading from the railway station.
It's Rose.
19-year-old
Rose.
Rose Jenkins was returning from a visit.
What are you doing?
Making lists.
Oh, it's frightfully early. Come back to bed.
What I really can't understand is why any of this should come to murder. I mean, smuggling dogs in and out of the country so they can win prizes in Peru is not worth killing someone for, surely. Whatever they may have known about it, I thought I got the whole thing sewn up. There's Handyside, the dog transporter, shipping the dogs out of the country so that Pocklington, the judge, can pin rosettes on them in foreign places. It's just a matter of catching them at it. But why should either of them butcher poor Rose?
Well, what makes you think they did? Pocklington was at the show all afternoon.
Handyside wasn't.
Serblington sex fiend strikes. I thought you said Handyside was gay.
Yes, but...
Oh. Poor girl was obviously picked up by a sex fiend, as the paper says. Happens all the time.
Well, what if Handyside found out that she had told me about his row with Ailsa Potts?
Well, he might be upset. I doubt if he'd kill her.
Well, he'd already killed the dog, remember?
Speculation. I think you're assuming far too much.
Thanks a lot. You sound just like Parkinson, honestly. I have to make assumptions. I've got no proof yet. But if I go down to Serblington and talk to the local police there, I may be able to find something.
Where would we be without you watchdogs, as you might say, from the Department of... Well, thank you so much for coming, sir, though you needn't have troubled. We'll keep you abreast of any developments now that we know the victim was a dog informant.
Look, you don't understand. I'm asking to be involved in this investigation, and I'm suggesting that you question Cecil Handyside immediately.
I doubt whether you'll find that necessary in view of the circumstances, sir. It's evident that this was a straightforward sex crime. The killer's intentions were all too obvious.
Intentions?
It would appear that he was interrupted. Conjecture, of course, but as I say, the intentions were obvious, with a marked similarity to previous assaults. Nothing at all to do with matters concerning dogs. And if I might make so bold, I would suggest that were a third party to overhear the allegations you've been making, Mr. Handyside might have a sound case in law for any action he might choose to take.
Inspector, please try to realize this is a matter of national importance.
Mrs. Potts isn't in, sir. She's at Mass.
At Mass?
Yes, sir.
Then I'll wait.
Hello?
Can I speak to Mr. Bognor?
Oh, I'm sorry, he's not here. Can I take a message?
Yes, mind. Tell him Mr. Wotherspoon called and the dogs from Copenhagen.
Yes, all right. Copenhagen? I'll make you a cup of tea. Mr. Bognor!
What?
Not you again.
Oh, I've just come to ask Mrs. Potts a few questions.
I know what you've come for. Now, clear off. And if I catch you ferreting around my patch again, I'll book you for obstructing the course of justice. Have you got that?
So, I said to him, if I want to go over every single piece of paper in this room, I shall do so. Have you got that?
How did he react?
Oh, well, you know, you've got to take these CID men down a peg or two from time to time.
Did you find out anything?
No. This message from Wotherspoon, you sure you got it right?
Quite sure, thank you. Who is this Wotherspoon? He sounded frightfully conspiratorial.
Oh, he's our man at the Kennel Club. Bulldog for sale in Copenhagen, believed to be Raffles, the chewing gum dog. Percy Pocklington in Copenhagen.
Judging the Danish championships, apparently.
No, extradition treaty. What's that mean?
Oh, for dogs. So that if the kidnappers do manage to sell Raffles abroad, the buyer's in the clear.
I've got an idea. Fancy a trip to Andover?
No?
Country air will do you good.
My theory is Handyside's kidnapped Raffles himself.
But he's part of the syndicate that owns the dog.
Precisely. Look, you stay here. And if I'm not back in half an hour, just ring Parkinson and tell him what's happened, all right?
Well, aren't you being a bit melodramatic?
I hope so. Oh, I never imagined he'd live in a bungalow somewhere.
Yes?
Bognor of the Department of Trade.
Well, what do you want?
Well, I'd like a talk.
It's Sunday. I'm afraid I'm tied up.
It won't take long.
Wouldn't it have been easier to phone?
Well, I rather wanted to look at your operation for myself.
I've only just got back from Heathrow. And what with one thing and another, I'm really very busy.
Well, couldn't I just have a quick look round, eh?
I said it's Sunday. I'm on my own. There's nothing to see.
Well, your vans, for instance. I'd like to have a look inside one.
Oh, all right, if you insist. But it's an utter waste of time.
What news about the chewing gum dog, by the way? Any joy?
I found a ransom note outside the door this morning, asking for £10,000. Basildon Bond. And the letters come from the Times and the Daily Mail.
Zurich, eh? Funny that. I didn't know the Swiss were bulldog fanciers. I knew the Danes were. Thanks very much. You've been very helpful. I do hope the police managed to track down your dog, but then again, he was insured.
Yes. Thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Pretty sure I rattled Handyside this afternoon. He's definitely losing his nerve. Hello, Bognor.
I thought you'd like to know. They found poor Raffles.
Oh, I'm delighted. What happened? Who found him?
And some children came across him, wandering the streets of Fulham. They turned him over to the Richmond Dogs Home. I thought we'd have a little celebration. Perhaps you'd like to join us. 11 o'clock for champagne.
11 at the Richmond Dogs Home.
It'd be so nice to
I'll
see
be
you
there.
again. Super.
Night.
Goodbye.
This morning we had no chewing gum dog. Tonight we have two. It's very curious. How do you explain that?
Look, I'm no longer interested in your beastly dogs, and I am fed up with waiting. Simon, come to bed.
Complicates things rather. Of course, I may just have to go to Copenhagen to unravel it.
Copenhagen? Bognor? The only reason you want to go there is to see disgusting films. The Memoirs of a Sex-Mad Dentist. I know the sort of thing.
You do, sir?
Before we have any expensive ideas of foreign travel, may I suggest you travel to Richmond, which I believe is accessible by the Underground Railway, or by Southern Region, or by one of London Transport's attractive red omnibuses, and establish the identity of the animal there.
Yes.
Your return fare should be about £2.
Which is the sort of budget I regard as suitable.
How will I know whether this one is the real Raffles or not?
Even I would recognize Raffles, the Excelsior chewing gum dog. And even I know that if such a dog were to have a double, it is highly unlikely that such an animal would be able to sniff out Excelsior chewing gum in preference to gum manufactured by anyone else, let alone chewing.
I'll take along some chewing gum then, shall I say?
I don't care if you take a canine lie detector with you. Please just establish the identity of this dog at Richmond. Then report back. Do absolutely nothing else. Do not get yourself involved. Do not make a fool of yourself. Then return here immediately.
All's well that ends well, Mr. Bognor. There he is, the scoundrel, safe and sound, back where he belongs.
And so soon.
Well, the villains must have panicked when they realized what a human crime had been unleashed.
Yes, I rather thought they might.
Well, my dear, it would be quite impossible to dispose of somebody as well known as Raffles, short of... Well, we needn't go into that, need we, old boy?
Mind you, the thieves could easily have got rid of him abroad.
They're most unlikely. I mean, it's so extraordinarily complicated, unless you know the ropes. Besides, they were interested in ransom money, not selling.
Well, if they kept their nerve, they could have had both.
In theory, yes, Mr. Bognor, but in practice, I think not. Now, I really do feel you should meet the Secretary of the Home, Brigadier Willoughby. When I say Brigadier? No, you can't expect him to chew gum now. He's still in a state of shock.
No, thank you.
Oh, no, I'm Bognor, Simon Bognor, Department of Trade.
Oh. Well, maybe you're more used to these jamborees than I am. It's like a circus ring in here. I knew a chap at the old Board of Trade, a fellow called Parkinson. Dreadful little snot.
He's my boss.
I'm terribly sorry.
Oh, not a bit. You must have known him well.
No, not really. Pretty secretive, you intelligent chaps. That's still Parkinson's province, is it? Look, are you here officially?
Sort of.
Oh, my name's Willoughby.
Oh, I'm Bognor.
Yes, no,
Simon
you just said it. I've got a bit of a problem. Maybe your sort of pigeon, maybe not, but I'd like to tell someone about it. Would you fancy a drop of scotch?
Oh, yes, please.
We'll pull up a chair. You'll never believe this. I didn't know a thing about dogs till this job came up. But I did my homework, and I think I know as much as most now. Of course, I recognised Raffles the moment he came in. I rang Handyside. I'd seen his name in the papers, and he asked if he could have a bit of a party here. And I said, fine, that's what's going on now. Bob's your uncle, as you might say. A large one.
Oh, yes, please.
Well, you'd be wrong. About the dog, I mean. See, after I finished talking to Handyside, I went down to the cells to have another look at him. It's not often you get an animal worth thousands in here. Cheers.
Cheers.
The more I looked, the less I liked what I saw. Do you know why? I was at first. But I definitely sensed that wasn't the dog I'd seen on the goggle box. Oh, it was a bulldog, all right, same markings, but it didn't hold itself well, drooping. Ill effects of the kidnap, I thought at first. Then I had another decker at the coat, and I had the impression that those famous markings were a little too good to be true. And blow me if they weren't. That dog's been faked.
Faked?
Tampered with.
But someone like Handyside would have noticed, surely.
Of course he would have only bound to spot an imposter, but when he walked in this morning, he decided that dog was Raffles without even seeing it. He marched in and said, hello, Raffy, old man, without even a second look.
And you didn't mention anything?
Well, hardly, old boy. I mean, if I'd said that dog was a fraud after he just recognized it, I'd be calling him a crook or an imbecile. I wasn't going to have that. It's not an offense. It's rather like going to the lost property office when you've had your umbrella pinched. I mean, you collect the first umbrella you see. It doesn't matter which one it is, it's all part of the game.
But what game, I wonder?
You're asking me? You're a detective, Waller. Have another one.
Oh, sure.
Your Heathrow call.
My what? I wasn't expecting one.
No, not from Heathrow, to Heathrow. I did it for you. Parkinson's instructions.
Have you had one too many?
Bulldog brackets Brown, comma 1, 0930 Copenhagen flight, Sunday. Sender Cecil Handyside. Bulldog brackets.
Something the matter?
Yes. They're all brown. Everywhere you look, they're brown. Sir, sir, stop me if you find any of this confusing.
What?
We are looking for a brown and white Excelsior chewing gum bulldog. Now, at the Richmond Dogs Home, we have a brown and white bulldog.
Good. Sounds simple enough.
No, sir. Because as Brigadier Willoughby will
Who,
confirm...
if memory serves, as a drouthy oud soup?
The Richmond Dogs Home dog is brown.
Brown.
Painted white.
But Bognor, the dog Handyside sent to Copenhagen for the unknown customer, and the one you fondly thought was the real chewing gum dog, is likewise brown. So where is the brown and white one?
That's it. That's it! Don't you see? It is the Copenhagen dog, only painted brown. If they can paint the other one white, they can easily paint Raffles brown.
But why, Bognor?
Well, with respect, sir, it's obvious. Well, if Handyside had just arranged the kidnapping himself so that he could collect the insurance and then had second thoughts because he knew that we were onto him, he'd simply set the dog loose. But suppose he'd already sent the real dog off to Denmark in disguise in order to be sold. Then what does he do? He procures another dog, dolls it up to look like Raffles, everybody's satisfied, and he sells the real dog abroad. I've solved it!
Steady on.
I really must go to Copenhagen. I'll have a Danish pastry, please. Now! Look, it all adds up, you see. Percy Pocklington is there, judging a championship, while also supervising the sale of the dog, using a reputable Danish pastry breeder as a frontman. Jespersen or Winterson, I've got the name from Wotherspoon.
Will you please tell Sir Charles that I am unavoidably detained, but I shall be with him as soon as possible. Thank you. So you want to go to Denmark to find the real Raffles?
Yes.
And your kennel club friends promise that he's there?
Yeah.
And if you succeed in finding the real Raffles...
Thanks for bringing back here and confronting her.
All right, it can't do any more harm than you've done already, but just remember, anything remotely controversial has to be done by the Danish authorities. Not you at any price. I'll warn them that you're coming. Now make your own arrangements, but stay no more than one night. The budget won't stand it. We're answerable to HMG, you know.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Hey! Hello, the dog man! I thought you remember Horace Higgins. Winter Dog Show. I mistook you for an official.
Oh, yes, yes. What are you doing here?
Well, I'm on the grand tour, second stage, Copenhagen. Hey, where are you staying?
Well...
I got a terrific place.
actually, I'm at the King Frederick.
Would you believe it? That's the one. Come on, let's get a taxi.
Have you seen a tall Englishman around tonight? No, at all. I'll look myself.
Oh, excuse me, have you seen a short, stocky American? No, not a drink, a man, a person. Has a stocky American person been here?
Dr. Bognor? Johan Winterfeld. You are Dr. Bognor. Board of Trade.
Oh, yes. Well, I mean, no. I'm Mr. Bognor. Well, I'm just Bognor, yes. It's Department of Trade, actually.
I think I've surprised you.
Well, you did, yes. No, the thing is, I was accosted at the airport by this frightful American tourist, and he's staying here, and I promised to have a drink with him. But I think I've given him the slip, so you're Winterfeld?
Yeah, I'm Winterfeld, yeah. Yes, you're Mr. Wotherspoon telephoned me, yeah. So welcome to Copenhagen. I hope you had an excellent flight. The weather was good and all that.
Yes, perfect, thanks, yes. Is there any news? About the dog, I mean?
Of course. Let me get you a drink. Geneva? Geneva, 2. This is your first visit to our beautiful city? Then I will take you to a fish restaurant. You will see the fish here is very good.
Mr. Winterfeld, about the dog.
I have seen the dog.
You have?
The famous dog, yeah. Mr. Larson.
The buyer?
Yeah, the vendor, yeah.
The vendor?
He is an acquaintance. He has asked for £5,000 in English money to be placed in a bank in Switzerland. It was this which made me suspicious.
And you're sure the dog is Raffles?
Of course, there is no doubting. Tack. It's good.
Cheers.
Bottoms up. Although you will see for yourself. I've arranged for Larson to meet with my associates in the city, and he will bring the dog, and then you shall judge.
What sort of man is Larson?
Yeah, he's a small breeder, a weak man, as you say, easily led.
There's no question of the bulldog being his own production.
None at all. I breed these animals myself, and I know he has bought this dog.
From whom? From Percy Pocklington?
I would imagine. Tomorrow you talk to Larson. Tonight you come with me and eat some fisk.
Oh, well, I think if you'll forgive me...
It's the finest fisk in all the world.
Well, the thing is, I'm rather exhausted.
You go to bed? So soon?
Well, I don't know. I thought just a little constitutional. A stroll. A walk around the block. A little night air.
Hello.
That's Pocklington!
Oh, you really blew it, didn't you, Bognor?
What?
You heard me. I had Pocklington just where I wanted him, and you walked in, and you blew it.
You know Pocklington? Who are you?
Now they're all gone. Tomorrow there's no Larson, there's no Pocklington, there's no dog, there's no nothing.
You know about it. Business with the dog?
The business with the dog? Is that what you think this thing is all about?
Yeah.
You think they make their money here smuggling pets? Is that what you think? That's what you think, yeah? You think they're good? Hey, you have a drink, Bognor, the Board of Trade.
Department.